Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the marketplace with Ichonoche this evening. This lovely Monday evening. I welcome you all. Thank you for coming live with me today. I want to welcome those of you on Instagram, those of you on Facebook, on Zoom, and also on YouTube. I just want to thank all of you for um, coming live this evening. I have a lot to do today, so I'll probably just go right in there. If you're living in the city of Port Harcourt, just I want to pray for your safety, and I pray for your safety and that we all be safe, not just in Port Harcourt, but the rest of our nation, that we don't know the violence and that is taking over the spirit of violence, but we all need to pray for the soul of our nation, to so pray for God's intervention, and also to continue to voice out that some certain traits are alien to us, especially in South and Southeast, of behaving and all those things, that these things are alien to us. These things should not be heard of in the 21st century, but to act in such a manner, I think everybody needs to continue to speak, since we don't know from which direction, or who are the people that are responsible. But I think that we should voice out and say that it doesn't just make sense, okay, for people to go to their duty posts and such a thing happen to them. We need to get our voices out there, that this is just not right. It's just not right. Whatever the grievance, whatever you're fighting for. Okay, so let me just go straight to the business for the day, and that is business acumen in leadership. Business acumen. See, this leadership series I'm doing, you can see that I'm not in a hurry to leave this leadership series, because there's a lot that is hanging on leadership in this country, in our country, and in Africa. There's a lot that business leaders, or leaders generally, in whatever sphere of the society that you belong to, there's need for us to continue to groom leaders, to raise leaders. So I am particularly happy when I have to talk to leaders. I'm particularly happy because I look forward to an Africa that is breaking forth with leadership from all sphere of life, leadership when they need leadership. So I am particularly I want to even extend it for a few weeks. Let us continue to do this leadership series, because I think it's needful for us. Okay, so now let us go into business acumen in leadership. Let's try and understand what business acumen in leadership is all about. Let me just give you an intro, a brief rundown. I can see Pastor Jite there. I wave to you also. I can see you coming in on Instagram. All right, so let's do a brief intro into what business acumen is, or what is generating, or what is bringing about this current need for leaders to reassess their business acumen. Okay, the current business climate has executives seeking more employees with a broader range of business expertise. So it means that in the current business climate, there is need for more employees. There is a need for more employees that have broader range of business expertise in different areas. You know, there's this constant wave of disruption from startups. Startups are always disrupting something, and also every day there's a new level, new advancement in technology, and this is wreaking havoc in every industry because of the fast flow of technological advancement, the fast flow of startups coming with ideas that disrupt and threaten those of large organizations. So it means that the corporate leadership report that they need people that can respond to all this. There are different people. So it's not just the usual employment that we know. Now we have to employ corporate leaders that are adept in comprehending, valuing, contributing to strategic initiatives and systematic improvement. So now the corporate world is very volatile. Corporate world is fast moving. So we must at every particular point in time have employees that can respond to it. Leaders want managers to focus on the big picture of the business, cultivate relationship across the company culture, and contribute to the advancement of the firm's goals. So you see now that there is need. There is need for that level of employment where we are having people that understand business acumen, or that have an idea, or people that you can develop to becoming that you see that this is a leadership quality, a leadership material that has the ability to grow in the area of business acumen. So it's not simply a matter of subject area expertise anymore. It's not a matter of specialization in a particular thing. Right now, the companies are looking for, no, but an individual's ability to understand various dimensions of a business that are in play as situation arises. So it's no longer I am good in sales. It's no longer I'm good in marketing. It's no longer that I'm good in marketing, I am good in sales. No, it's beyond that. It's beyond an individual's. Now we're talking about individuals' ability to understand various dimensions of a business that are in play as situations arises. The concern is growing. There are various studies and research out there, like in the US, Career Advisory Board announced that nearly half of business leaders surveyed report a gap in business acumen with new talents that are coming on board. Let me say it again. In US, the Career Advisory Board announced that nearly half of business leaders surveyed report a gap in business acumen in new talent. Okay, and to buttress that particular point, I had to bring together the Economist Intelligence Unit. They did a study, Economist Intelligence Unit, and find that 65% of leaders believe insufficient business acumen limits a strategy's potential. 65%, that is high level of the high level of employees, especially in management, that have insufficient business acumen, and it affected the strategies and the potentials thereof. It affected it. You see, what is this business acumen? It's not one thing. Business acumen is not one thing. Business acumen refers to the portfolio of attributes and skills. It's a bundle of attributes and skills that every business leader needs to understand so they can effectively contribute to the goals of the company. So it is just not one thing, because before now in the corporate world, you can say, look, I'm a good HR person, I'm good in this, but you can be good in one particular area and you can rise to maybe become the departmental head. But companies now are not looking for that aspect of specialization in business. They are looking for people that have business acumen, which I have said is an attribute, is a bundle of attributes and skills. Okay, it's a bundle of attributes and skills that every business leader needs to understand to help the organization to be able to achieve its goals. Okay. So now let us look at some qualities, because we have to look at some qualities of individuals. Who is an individual? What kind of what describes an individual we will say that has business acumen or possesses business acumen? Because then it will be easier for us to understand who what we are talking about in this presentation. Who is the person that has this business acumen? Okay, I will give you I think I have about 11 points short points that I want to use to buttress and make you understand who is this person that has a business acumen, because this is what the corporate world is looking for. Especially, nowadays they will just give you something to feel. A friend of mine gave me he gave me like a what is it called now? Is it like a profile, something that can profile your personality, a personality profile? And I was reluctant to do it, but I did it, and I realized that, look, he said maybe it was 60 or 70% correct in their assessment of the kind of person I am, or the kind of person what I will do at specific times, so nowadays the companies can just ask you to fill a form, fill out this personality stuff, and they'll be able to know the kind of person you are. So it's not so much as being saying it out in the open. We must, as much as possible, understand what business acumen is and how we can develop ourselves. In terms of this business acumen. Okay, so sorry. Yeah, the first quality, the first, let's say, attribute that can describe someone with business acumen is a fundamental business knowledge. You have the basic knowledge of business, such as what? Developing business strategy. You understand cash flow, even if you're not an accountant. You understand the financial metrics and statements, P&L account, business performance. All these things are things that you should understand. The last company where I worked, they use figures. When we go for budget sessions, you will see a lot of figures. And I'm wondering, are we accountants here? My MD was a pharmacist, or he is a pharmacist, but the way he interprets figures, you would think he's an accountant. You even think he's a chartered accountant. I realized that all the accountants in that company, they were all chartered, first of all. So somewhere along the line, most people can interpret financial figures. They know business strategies. And the company was able to continue to scale for some time because their business development was intact. They have ability to bring out business from any single thing. They can bring out a business idea, a business strategy from selling sand. They are not afraid to say, let us sell sand. They are not afraid to go into any business. I can imagine some certain businesses that I'll be wondering, where is the money going to come out? They are making 500 million naira back then in a year. It's because they understand how ideas are generated. They understand cash flow. They understand HR. They understand the management. They all have business acumen that are in the top management. Most of them have gone to Harvard Business School and all the other business schools all over the world. So they understand what it takes to run a business, not just what they specialize in. So gone are the days now that you can say that, oh, okay, that I've read, I'm a salesperson, and because of that, I should be in top management. It doesn't work that way again. You must understand the various aspects of the business for you to be able to comfortably contribute in how you can advance the goals of that organization. Another quality is a core understanding of business functions. You must understand sales. You must understand marketing. You must understand operations, logistics, HR, finance, all the different aspects of business. You must understand it. These are the qualities. I'm trying to unbundle the qualities that make up someone, make up this thing that we say business acumen. Core understanding of business, how business is run. You know, I tell people that, look, for you to be a CEO, you must systematically hand over your business to people. You should not be afraid to delegate, because if you don't delegate, you continue to do the work. It's like what it means is that you continue to do the work when you are supposed to have moved on to something else. Let me try and explain. In business systems, in modern business systems, as it is now, is you are starting a company. You've run a company with one or two people. After like a year, once the company is stabilized, you bring in someone, because as the MD of the company, maybe you are the salesperson. You go out on sales, you go out for sales and all that. So it's time for you to begin to employ a sales officer and begin to train someone to the extent that you, as the MD of a company, you continue to be the number one salesperson. But in business systems, you are taught for you to be able to hand over your role to somebody else. There will come a time that you hand over the role of admin to someone. You hand over the role of HR to someone. Or if the company is not that big, you can hand over admin and HR to someone. Then you can handle sales and marketing. Gradually, you hands off so that you can concentrate on promoting the business, running the business. You can control. For me, as an MD, the first thing you need to do, an MD is a protector, is a preserver of an entity. So the MD is sitting now and looking at, how do I preserve this organization? Since a business is a going concern, is an entity on its own. So how do I protect it? That is the job of the MD, not marketing, not sales. What are the threats that want to take these things out? What are the unforeseen things that happen on a day-to-day basis, especially for those of us in Port Harcourt and maybe some south regions of Nigeria? How do you cope with local government? There can be 6 of them that come in a year to come and ask for the same thing. Or in a month, 4 people can come and ask you for the same thing. See, you cannot, that is the job and the role of the MD, to be able to negotiate those things. And MD should be free. You should be free to attend seminars and conferences and parties, if you will, to be able to promote that business. And you cannot be doing that. And MD's job is to protect, it's just like the father of the house, to protect the business and make sure that all the units are working well. So for you to be able to make sure that all the units are working well, what it means is that for you to know that all the business are working well, what it means is that you have to understand business, the core business functions of an organization. You might not be an expert in all, but you know enough to use it at the point of decision making. Business acumen crystallizes where? in decision making. A man that oversees a company, that understands the different functions of that company, will be able to make better decisions than one that is relying on. If you see my advert that I put out there, I said, should MDs rely on key people? Why do I need to bother to know systems? Why should I bother to know functions? I should just employ the best people. You are the one that have the final decision. So you cannot be ignorant of the functions of the different departments, even if you have the best guys there. Okay, another key attribute of someone that you can say that has business acumen is motivational management style that inspires people, that inspire members of staff to perform their tasks to the best of their ability in line with business goals. You see, a CEO is now like a motivational speaker. A CEO is an inspirator. So you just don't sit down and say, I am paying them fat salary. Or as they say here, I'm giving you arm robber salary so that you can think for me, so that you can do all these things for me. I don't need to motivate you. Your salary is enough to motivate you. But that is error. You can pay someone and the person gives you 40% of the output that he should normally be given to. He will give you 40% of the output he should give to you. But a motivator, a CEO that is a motivator, or a leader, doesn't have to be the CEO alone. A general manager, a manager that is a motivator, is interested in how can I carry my people along. I told you that leadership is the ability to make people do what they normally don't want to do and love it, and do it without complaint. So what I'm saying now is that for you, part of business acumen, so that you can see how all encompassing this is someone that has the ability to motivate. When you come to work every day, you also need to think about how can I motivate my people? How am I able to motivate my people to continue to achieve the company goals? Okay, number 4 is to lead collaborations between business units, to creatively recognize and solve problems. See, in most companies, different departments or different arms of a company, a unit, different arms of the company, they need to be encouraged, because people usually gravitate to people that are like them. They usually gravitate to people that are like them. So in an organization, they will not, even if they know that they need to relate with people from other departments, but they might not do that. But a CEO, a leader, should be able to bring them together and make sure there is some form of collaboration. There's just some form of interaction between every unit, because the units that talk to themselves is a healthy company. For you to, one of the things when we do company diagnostics and go to find out what is happening in a company, and I will ask to find out what is the interaction between departments. Interdepartmental relationship is very important and very key. A company that is healthy is a company that people are interacting very well among themselves. If you allow people to build blocks, stumbling blocks, and people to raise blocks so that other people are not they're not approachable, it will affect the organization. Leaders that make it difficult for them for people, for their members to be able to access them freely, what they are doing is not a healthy organization. No, it's not a healthy organization. So leaders need to make sure that the company, when the companies are interacting, it means that the companies are breeding. It means that the companies are breeding, and the company that is breeding well is healthy. So you don't sit in your penthouse or sit in your penthouse office and expect that everything is going well because you are paying them well. No, that is not that is not business acumen. Because for business to survive, for business to thrive, the company needs to be breeding well from all angles. It needs to be breeding well. It needs to be breeding well. So you must insist as a CEO, you must insist and make sure you inspire them and get them interacting well. Number 5, having an understanding of the marketplace changes. I told you earlier that 1, because of startups are coming up with a lot of disruptive ideas. They are coming up with a lot of disruptive products and services. And because of technological advancement, there is always changes in the marketplace. The marketplace is volatile. There's a lot of changes. So the CEO or someone that has business acumen is someone that is able to understand how the marketplace changes and the drive, and has the drive to make the required decisions within the business to meet the challenges head on. It must be somebody that is current with the trends of what is happening in their industry, in the nation at large. Why is it that companies, when you go to companies, you have newspaper, they put a lot of newspaper at the reception? Or when you go to companies, there's television at the reception, and most of the time there's news going on, because they want their people to be well informed with what is happening. They want their people to be informed. You have to be informed. You have to listen to CNN. I have to listen to CNN. I have to add Al Jazeera to it. I enter BBC. I will see what is happening in channels. I will see what's happening in AIT. You have to be current to know exactly what is happening. You have to listen to interviews, everything that is happening in the business world. Once I come to the office, the first thing I do is I open Investopedia. I want to understand what is happening in the investment world, in the business world. I have sites that are already bookmarked on my laptop, so I just go to them. Just not that I'm looking for anything in particular, but what I'm doing is that I am keeping myself abreast with what is happening. That is business acumen. That is business acumen. So when you go for an interview and they ask you, so what happened? What happened? Did you know that maybe this top bank had an issue? Maybe this happened, the MD happened. I will be saying, oh, I'm not aware. I will look at you as somebody that is not mindful of developing that business acumen, at the right, or being aware of what is happening in his surrounding. You must be aware. You have to be aware of what is happening in the in your industry, your nation, in your continent, round about the whole world when it concerns business. Okay, number 6 is understanding the drivers of profitability and growth. Business acumen is understanding. One of the attributes of someone that has business acumen is understanding the drivers of profitability. If you are the CEO of a company, you know that the board is watching you. If it's not only you, or maybe you were employed to do that, you must understand the drivers of profitability and growth. What makes a business grow? What is the growth pattern of of companies that are successful in your industry. What is the growth pattern? And if you don't understand the growth pattern, you must investigate. You must, there are people that are putting out articles every day out there. There are articles every day out there showing the growth in industry. If you want to know the growth in your industry last year, Google it, you will see it. I think in Nigeria, statistics, what is that? Bureau of Statistics. Something Bureau of Statistics. If you go there, you will see statistics, whatever you are. If you are looking for GDP, you are looking for this, you are looking for different industry, you will see there. You need to understand the drivers. What are the drivers? What are the current trends, information that drive businesses to grow and to be profitable? Without profitability, there can't be growth. So you must understand it. Don't say that, oh, I've employed a Harvard trained, I have a Harvard trained doctorate degree staff that is able to tell me all those indices. It doesn't make for good business acumen, because the decisions, you need to understand the decisions that you're going to make as a leader. You need to understand it, and you should be able to interpret the figures. I think I was reading somewhere, maybe like 10 years ago, and there's a company, I think they were part of Fortune. It was an article on Fortune 500, and they said the top 20 companies do encourage their CEOs not to print anything. That their job, if they want to go for meetings, they should print their documents themselves. And I think that it was talking about when wireless printers came, that CEOs should be able to do some certain things because they need to hide some certain information. They should be able to have flash drives of their own that they can use. Those basic functions. Don't tell your PA to do it. Don't tell your secretary to do it. You must understand some basic things as a CEO. Because if you are the one that you are the final boss stop, the decision that will make the company grow or fall, it's on your table. So you must understand all the various aspects of business. Number 7, you must have a key awareness of external threats and how they align to internal processes to overcome them. What am I saying here? You must be aware of external threats. It's just like the man is the protector at home. He's concerned about security. He's concerned about what will make the next generation, that will preserve the next generation. So also are the leaders of an organization. They need to preserve this organization. They need to preserve it again. I want my organizations to outlive me by hundreds of years. So there must be key people in place that understand threats, what can take organizations out. So for me, the CEO, and the things that can take organizations out are little things that you don't know. Like in the Nigerian terrain, there are some certain things that have nothing to do with business that can take you out. Not understanding the business terrain in Nigeria, it can take you out. You need to understand the threats. Inflation can be a threat. Government policies can be a threat. Insecurity can be a threat. I just heard that in my city now there is a curfew, 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. It was shifted down from 10 p.m. to 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. That in itself can be detrimental to business, is a threat. The global pandemic was a threat to businesses. How do you cope? How do you survive? How do you cope? How do you survive these threats to your business? If you don't have a robust idea of how to respond to those things, to internally position yourself to respond to those things, those threats can take out that company. So it's an important aspect of business acumen. Number 8, a willingness to shift strategy and goals to leverage market disruption. CEOs always say that why change, or people rather say why change a winning formula? But that in itself is wrong in business. When things are okay in business, that is when to make changes. Because there's a natural law. Law of gravity also affects businesses. When you get to the top of your business, when you get to the top of your operations and the top of the ladder in your production, that is the time to begin to diversify and do things. If not, because when businesses usually, when they get to that point, they will plateau and they start to decline. And most of the time, we are not doing enough to sustain that business at that level. We're not doing enough to raise other businesses, other product lines, and other income generating sources that can keep the company going on. When we are liquid, we should do more things that can keep us from doing what we're doing. Companies generally relax until they begin to see one crack or the other somewhere in the department. We must be willing to shift strategy. If the strategy that is not working and your goals, you are not achieving them, it's time for you to look what is working. What are we not looking at? I've seen CEOs that are stubborn, and when they set goals at the beginning of the year, they don't want to change it. When their strategy is not working, they will be firing people, not tweaking that strategy. The only thing that is unchangeable for me is the vision is unchangeable, but the mission statement can change, the methodology can change, the strategy can change, your goals can change. So you must be able to be flexible. If you want to ask me for a word, I would say is agility. It is agility. Is agility. Businesses that are agile are ready to respond to any disruption in the market. You've trained yourself and you've trained your leaders and your staff to be able to respond to whatever is happening. Because now we are in this pandemic. We don't know the full story. Every day, but I believe that is on it. I want to believe. I'm not a medical practitioner, but I want to believe that it's although I don't understand what is happening in India, but I want to believe that it's not as bad as it was at this time last year. So, but businesses, have they bounced back fully? Not really. Some businesses are shut down completely. So, not really. So, you must be agile. You must be ready. You must be ready at any particular point in time to respond to whatever that is disrupting the market, your market or your industry. Okay. Number 9 says market perspective. You must have the right market perspective. Today's leaders must have a deep insight into the marketplace in which their businesses operate and the trends that are shaping and redefining it. I've kind of answered this with one of the other points I was trying to make. You must have a deep understanding of the marketplace, the trends that shape and redefine it. You must be conversant with them. If not, it will be difficult for you to respond at certain times. Number 10 is knowing your customers and competitors. Okay, so I'm not teaching on customers and competitors today, but this, if you ask me, What do I need to know about my customers and what do I need to know about my competitors? I'll tell you who are your customers and what do they want. Who are your customers and what do they want? Because if you don't know what they want, you won't be able to serve them well. You won't be able to serve them well. And who are your competitors and what are they offering? What are your competitors offering? Because your market, assuming now you want to enter into a new market, your market penetration strategy is based on what your new competitors are doing there. The new value you're bringing to the market. The new value you're bringing into the market is that value is coming to contest with the already existing value. So you're coming up with a higher value than what is already there. So if you don't know your competitors, you will not be able to offer a higher value. If you don't know your customers, what they want, you will not be able to serve them well. So having business acumen is to know all this. Finally, on the attributes of business, having business attributes, is financial acumen. Knowing how decision impacts, your decision will impact bottom line financial results is very essential. Having a good grasp of basic financial reports and metrics in order to monitor performance and make corrections to plan. In our business school, one of the key modules that we take in our business is financial intelligence and discipline. And we take a lot of accounting. We take 4 accounting courses. Basic accounting course, financial accounting, management accounting. What's the other one, Banji? What's the 4th one? Yeah, business, I think business financing. Those are the 4 things. You must understand business financing. You must understand financial management accounting, financial accounting, basic accounting. We are not trying to train you to become an accountant. No, but you must understand those figures. And when people come and say, "Oh, it's accounting," we tell them we're not teaching you to become an accountant, but you need to understand those figures. It's part of acquiring business acumen. Figures, business is figures. Every week you must be looking at figures. It's the figures that will motivate you to do more. It's figures don't lie. They will tell you whether the business is healthy or not. I know that companies doctor their financial statement, but if you want to be true to yourself, the figures don't lie on what you're doing on a weekly, monthly basis. Okay, so why is having business acumen so important? Why is it so important? Now we've seen the qualities of having a business acumen. Why is it so important? 1, it's good for business. It's good for business. An individual capable of truly understanding and visualizing how to drive for success will make any business successful. You will agree with me if an individual that has those 11 attributes and qualities, an individual that has trained himself in acquiring those skills, those 11 skills, that individual is capable of understanding, visualizing how to drive for success. And once you have those abilities, those qualities, you can make any business successful. Because your thought processes can bring the business product and services to the market through innovative and unprecedented channels in many cases. You are bringing out new ideas that can help the business to be profitable. Once you can develop those skills, there's nothing stopping you from being sought after by large organizations. There's nothing stopping you from your own business for your business to be successful. Those 11 points, they are like the foundation of this acquiring business acumen. If you can acquire that, you will be successful. Okay. The result is a profitable business, both in terms of sales growth and in branding. So this is one of the reasons why business acumen is very important. Okay. Another example, another reason is another example is it is good for the individual himself. The job specification from any business looking for CEOs will inherently contain certain qualities, because CEOs now and leaders, top leaders, as I've said, they include possessing business skills, business acumen, ability to drive and enthuse all areas of business to achieve its maximum capacity. So it's good for an individual that has trained and developed himself in such an area. So the result is that the individual can work towards a successful career, and a great earning potential for himself. So this is why acquiring business acumen is very, very important. It is, you will be well sought after in the corporate world, and you as a person, you will achieve your career objective, and you'll be happy. Your earning, there's no way you develop yourself in this area that your earning will not go off the roof. Okay. Another way is, so now let's look at how can business acumen be obtained. I read something a few months ago, and I decided to bring it that can help you to acquire. How can business acumen be acquired on the job? Because sometimes we can't afford these courses, or we can't afford to even to have time to do online courses. Yeah, but I encourage people to do online courses, but we might not be able to go to school or to start that journey. What do we do? I want to acquire it. How can I help businesses to acquire it? Yes, this is an example. I saw this somewhere. I read it up somewhere, and I just had to go there to get it. So just how to help us to obtain this business acumen. One, from day-to-day personal mentoring. Day-to-day mentoring. Your business, your organization should be wired. You see, mentoring is something that I have seen is lacking in most organizations. Not just companies. There's that mentoring of grooming the next leaders. It's not there. I also see this thing in faith-based organizations. That mentoring is not there, but it has to be instilled. It has to be put in there to help. So there's what is called business stimulation. What is called business stimulation? Business simulation, from day-to-day personal mentoring, which are experiential learning done through business simulation. So now you are learning on the job. Now you are being afforded the opportunity to learn on the job. What is business simulation? Are used for business training, business education, business analysis. It can either be scenario-based, based on what is happening, or numeric-based, based on figures and numbers. It's a powerful tool for organizational learning and development. Perhaps you should also Google more on this business simulation. You will see it helps. It helps you to align your people on strategy. It can help you align your people to strategy, business acumen, business finance, and ultimately improve your bottom line. So I will recommend business simulation for everyone. And I think in organizations, we should try as much as possible to let it be something that we have inculcated into the culture of the organization. Senior executives need to implement the most effective development tool for their businesses that can help. So every day when you come to the work to work, you are developing in one area. It's either you are developing somebody or you are developing in one area. Okay, simulation helps also in terms of technological innovation. The last decade has provided wide-ranging business simulations in the market, which provide unprecedented learning tools that have incredible applications. There's a lot of applications out there on business simulation. You can get it. A lot of them are free. You can look for them online. You see, this morning I was trying to look up and to see what type of simulation. There are a lot that you can see there on the internet and you can use in your organization. It's a learning tool. It's a way that people can achieve business acumen on the job as they go. Okay, so it helps you develop the right kind of data, the right kind of people that you need for your organization. It's out there. Business simulation, I think, is what and you don't have to be a big organization to do it. You don't have to be a big organization to do it. You can do it at any level to help your business grow. Businesses can employ a simulation to assess a wide range of team and individual abilities. It can help you in sourcing for individual ability, from knowledge and understanding to applying learning into strategic development and execution. As the simulation now runs the operational steps, are tested along internal and external market forces, giving both individuals and management an immediate overview of what worked well and what did not work well. So that software is what I will introduce to anybody that is serious about him acquiring business acumen on the job, and not just for him, but also for his staff and people under him. So the benefits of simulation, they are huge, and so I will recommend that for anyone. And the good thing about it, one of the benefits of it is that you can make mistakes. You can afford to make mistakes because they are simulations. You are just creating scenarios that can help you respond when something like that happens. So you are making mistakes with these simulations and you are perfecting it as you go. So I will strongly suggest that that businesses that want to acquire this business acumen will go the way of business simulation. I will end here today and to thank each and every one of you for coming live with me today. It's very important. I am passionate right now about growing leaders. Marketplace Apostle is known as started as a leadership organization. And I'm passionate about this leadership in that moving into the other places of Africa. I'm passionate about leadership in Africa and also in my country, Nigeria. And so that's why I'm taking out time. I believe that I will take a lot of time in teaching leadership in business. Business and leadership, you cannot separate them. So I teach leadership. I'll teach it for a while until we move on to career development. So I will teach it. And if you know someone that is interested in this leadership series and the things that we do here, and I must wave and say thank you to our people from South Africa. I see some people from South Africa. I see Lady Julia, she's there. I also see someone else that tuning in, and all of you that came live on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, and also on Zoom. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking out time to come out here today. So please, if you know someone that is that is interested in the things that we do. Our focus is 5. I call it the fivefold ministry of marketplace apostle, but it's more like the five focus of our organization is business, career development, leadership, personal finance, and relationship, building relationships, be it marriage, be it corporate relationship and personal relationship. Those are our 5 focus. If you know someone that's interested, just help us share this link, and just help us share the link when you receive the advert. Just help us share the link, or go a step further with us. Just help us invite someone for next Monday. Every Monday I am live by 5 p.m. And next week I'm coming up with something very interesting for us, still on the area of leadership in business or leadership standalone. So please invite someone to these meetings. Let it be beneficial, because I have this burden for leaders in Africa. Okay, and I mentor people. I take out time to mentor, because now I've spoken. I might not be able to take questions, but I take questions on Wednesday. I don't want to stay more than 1 hour when I come live, and also not to waste the data of people and waste too much time. And also I try to keep it at 1 hour. So please, if you want further mentoring, there's a link that I have on Wednesday. You can ask me any question, or either on what I've taught here now, or in the 5 areas that I've talked about, or you know someone that has questions in those areas, you can ask. And on Wednesday, I come by 4 p.m. Nigerian time. I come 4 p.m. Nigerian time to answer those questions. So please, I look forward to answering your questions. And also, if you want to take it a step further by saying, I want to be your mentee, I have people that I mentor, and those people can ask me personal questions, and I can direct it to them one-on-one, because we belong in a group. So if you want to belong in that group where you can ask me directly, and those people, when people ask me who are those mentees, I say, look, it's just like our Lord Jesus Christ. He had the disciples, and he also had people. He had all people he was teaching on a regular basis, but he comes back to teach his disciples and show them exactly, explain to them what he's doing, the essence of some of the things that he has taught, because he was teaching in parables. So those group of people are people that can ask me anything, and I'll take out time and answer them. If you want to belong to that group, or you know someone that belongs to that group, you will see a link. If you're on Instagram, you see a link that is linktree /Uche Onoche. You see it on right there on my DM there, linktree. It's spelled LINKTR .ee /Uche Onoche. LINKTR .ee /Uche Onoche. If you know someone that wants to belong there, please share them the link, register, and it will take you to the group platform where we can talk, and you can have access to me. Okay, so I look forward to your questions on Wednesday. I also look forward to your attendance on Monday for another thing on leadership. So see you on Wednesday by 4 o'clock. Until then, have a good night rest. Be safe. Please be safe. To those of you in cities that are not particularly too safe now, I will just ask you, I'll just nudge you to be safe. I pray for your safety as you get home and as you move by day and by night. May God guide you. Thank you, guys. Good night, and see you on Wednesday by 4 Nigerian time.